right. All right, everybody. It's going to be hard to hear all this, but I kind of did it on purpose because I do want you to be able to hear all of the constant reports that are coming in. And as I've been looking at the radar and trying to get everything into you via the reports coming in from the Weather Service, I'm also kind of a scanner dork in that I've got multiple scanners set up throughout my home, as well as online scanners that are getting some of this information in as well. So you may or may not be distracted by this at times, but I've got the scanners turned up at a level where I can hear them. Some of them are louder than others, but we do have multiple trees down area wide and multiple power outages area wide. You can see, if you're watching on the regular broadcast here, you can see that we do have over 3,000 power outages in Roanoke County alone. Roanoke City has 454. Bedford has 2,204 power outages. 6,709 power outages in Amherst County. They were hit very hard. Lynchburg, it varies. My friend over at Channel 13 says they hardly got anything at the station, but in Madison Heights, there are numerous trees down. Just in Lynchburg itself, there are nearly 4,500 power outages, and you can see the areas in red affected the most. Franklin County, 1,125 outages, but I've got to tell you, I'm hearing Franklin County best because I'm actually in Franklin County on the scanners, and I just heard about 4 different reports of trees down throughout the county, especially along 220. I forget what the area of 220 was, but they were trying to clear that area out. Lots of debris as well. Could be tree limbs, could be shingles, could be things of that nature laying out in the road. So it's a very dangerous time to be out. And these storms, by the way, continue moving in the south side. We'll check on that in just a second. Henry County, the scanner's been going a little bit wild there. 1,340 down to Wytheville, nearly 3,000, nearly 4,000 rather, in Pulaski County. And in Montgomery County, we've got 2,430. That continues all the way back into Southwest Virginia, where we've got numerous reports here. Let's listen in on this Franklin County call that's coming in.
Franklin County 9, 2300 block, 3 Oaks Road, tree down, block 1 lane, 1746.
All right, that was from Franklin County. That's a tree down, blocking 1 lane of one of the back roads. We're going to have lots of those calls there coming in. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea. I'm listening in on the hardest hit areas, but at some point you can't just listen to them all. There's a lot of power outage information coming in, and this one is off of poweroutage.us. Now this looks different because it goes off of percent without power. So we're not looking at actual numbers as much as we are looking at areas that have been hardest hit. And as expected, Rockbridge County, you have 50% of your area without power in Rockbridge County. That's incredible. That's an incredible amount. Nearly 50 to 60% out in Bath County as well. Another hard-hit area has been Bland County, and you can see by percent the areas that have been hit the hardest: Craig County and in Bland County, and some of these numbers are still coming in. So we're getting lots of reports of those trees down. Also relaying them here, Lexington, numerous trees and power lines down countywide, which is not surprisingly just now coming in from the 911 center that covers Rockbridge County and Lexington, 2 miles north of Lexington. Henry County, we've got another tree down in the road blocking the intersection of Robinson's Ridge Road and Sandy River Road. And we'll go back to the radar too to give you an idea of what is going on, because these storms have made a bit of a jump, and that's some good news. We've got some lingering rain back here across the west. This area right now is in the clear from severe weather. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at all of these damage reports clustered in around the NRV and through the Roanoke Valley and now going in the south side, those are damage reports. Got a tree down blocking a community. Old Forest Road, I believe I heard in Franklin County. The whole community, whole neighborhood's blocked by trees. That's in Franklin County. You can follow these reports all the way back across West Virginia, and you can actually go back and look in across, well, let's go first to the storms that are out there, because we do have numerous warnings that are still out. Halifax County, I'm listening in on your state police frequency and on your local public safety frequency there. You're seeing a considerable storm with lots of potential for wind damage there. Also seeing reports of on the radar possible hail as we see some of these vehicles are disabled as well. Some of them had to pull over. There's been a few accidents reported as well. But this cell here near Halifax in the South Boston does have my attention. You do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for your area until 6:15. We had that line from Danville to Greensboro moving to the southeast at 40 to 50 miles per hour with 60-mile-per-hour winds from Clover, Ingham, Turbeville, Prospect Hill, Brookneal, Halifax, and South Boston, all in the severe thunderstorm warning until the top of the hour and 15 past, so it's 6:15. Bethany Road, Callaway Road, report of a tree down in Franklin County. And again, this is just representative of what's going on across the rest of the area. Charlotte County officially in the warning, but the cells pretty much are just skirting the Sacs area from your neighboring southeast part of, or northeast part of Halifax County. So riding the line here toward Williamsburg and Clover, you're about to get hit hard in that area as well. Also including the Clarksville, Boyden area. Here as we go into Mecklenburg County, everybody should be getting off the water here in the in this area near the reservoir there. The John H. Crow Reservoir is an area that I would be avoiding at all costs as this continues to move off to the east. There's a special weather statement issued for that area. That storm right now capable near Clarksville, moving or 10 miles south of Red Oak, moving east at 25 miles per hour. But this is one of the biggest reservoirs in our area, and there's a lot of fishermen that are on there at this time of the day. I imagine a lot of folks boating or whatever. You need to get off the water and definitely prepare for trees to be coming down. Looking down to the south now toward Greensboro and Winston-Salem, similar reports coming in. We've got lots of lightning with these as well. Lightning can do damage. Lightning can be an underrated killer. But trees coming down also can do some extensive damage here. And I want to show you, now that we're getting closer to the radar, we can give you some actual reports of wind. So you see these bright greens here. This is wind that's being picked up at 50 to 62. I'm reading it live here, so give me just a second. These are not very far off the ground. This is just about 2,000 feet off the ground. And I say that because it's nearing the Raleigh-Durham area. So you've got 50 to 60, perhaps 70 mile per hour winds nearing Durham right now out of the Raleigh area. That's a concern. Large hail reports all the way back into Greensboro, Winston-Salem. Again, I mentioned Winston-Salem was hit very, very hard, but also hit hard more locally here. We got Lexington, Amherst, lots of reports down around Madison Heights, just outside of Lynchburg, but multiple large trees down on Bailey's Sawmill Road, relayed by our friendly folks there within the media. I'm reading a few more here coming out of Greenbrier County. Multiple trees down in Alderson. Also multiple trees down in Lewisburg in the Allegheny Highlands. Buena Vista reporting multiple trees down and power lines down in Buena Vista as well. So just about everywhere you look, and this was expected, we've had multiple trees and multiple damage reports coming in as they continue these storms to move east. So areas that I'm most concerned about right now include Halifax and South Boston. Also going into Farmville, already getting a tree down report there, and we've got multiple trees down on Five Forks Road in Pamplin. Also a tree down on Prince Edward Highway in Prospect. Appomattox County's had a tree down, numerous trees down, blocking some roads in that area as well. And this will continue moving into Amelia and the Crew and Blackstone within the next 30 minutes to an hour. So you'll see these warnings extend off to the east. We talk about the Richmond area. This is an area that was hit hard yesterday. You've got more just to the north here, Ruther Glen and Bowling Green. Northern Richmond is under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:30, with the potential for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That storm is moving off to the south and to the east as well. So I do expect for our folks watching in eastern Virginia, you're going to see similar type damage from this. It looks like this was a definite long-tracked system. Let me show you another look at the damage as we go back. Look at Jackson, Tennessee radar. The Jackson, Tennessee radar is highlighting all of these individual icons. Every single one of these icons is a report of either multiple reports of damage or extreme wind damage. So you go all the way back across this large swath here, which actually includes the Nashville, Tennessee area that was hit very hard today, southern Illinois, Indiana, through this whole area, and it moved right into our area, right smack dab in the middle of our area, in fact, right where the radar is down, and it bowed out. Basically, we saw a lot of these storms bow out and produce just a lot of straight line wind damage. That's been enough to about, I'd say we had probably 50 to 70 mile per hour winds with these as they moved on in, and that as they continued to move east, again in extreme southeastern parts of our area or local area even. Halifax County is still under the gun, but that threat is now shifting into Mecklenburg County. And I might draw your attention too to the fact that there is a little bit of relief on the way, and I'll have this out on a Patreon post very soon. This area is our reward, and I'm going to draw that in a nicer color here. This is a nice, cooler, more stable air mass that's going to move in behind the front. And this is going to be our weekend. So we have dealt with an enormous severe weather event, one that we were telling you about yesterday that would be here by the afternoon. That continues right now. And even some of these wind damage reports that are coming in through central Virginia, they're even being picked up as far away as Kentucky on that radar. So it's a good way to kind of look at radars around the area. And if you're a meteorology buff like myself or just a regular person, it's a good way to learn about what radars can do and what radars can't do. And there's a lot out there that they can do, but when they're down, you have to rely on other things. I just saw that Pete Forster on Twitter put his update out and said that he doesn't even use radar to chase. He uses visible satellite, and that's what we're looking at here. So in many cases, this gives you an idea of what's going on before it shows up on radar. So let's show you what's going on in North Carolina. This is southeast North Carolina here, and let me get a bigger telestrator here and a color that's going to pop out a little bit better at you. Let's see, I'll just do this lighter green here. This area from Virginia Beach, Richmond, Virginia Beach, all the way down to Durham and east to Fayetteville, all the way to the Outer Banks and including the peninsula here. This area still has a lot of storm energy, and these are still some overshooting tops that are now coming in and moving very quickly to the southeast. You can see, indeed, we've got those embedded overshooting tops, and that basically is the actual storm, the updraft part of the storm. That's the most dangerous part of the storm, where we see the air rising and where the air is sinking behind it. In a case like this, it's not that far away, and you end up getting these crazy storms that develop out of that. Look at the cell north of Richmond. That's blossoming, and it's going to look more impressive as the sun gets lower in the sky, but just to give you an idea of what's going on there. So we're going to look back towards Sterling. I want to show you folks Northern Virginia here through the, I know you were hit hard in Harrisonburg. We've got trees down in Harrisonburg, also in DuPage County. We've got tree reports down also near Madison. That is in Madison County. I really got to learn these northern counties as I continue to spread my forecasting around the rest of the country here. But you can again follow all of this as it continues moving through the area. So it looks like DC itself's okay. That was the Shenandoah Valley that got hit the hardest and continues to be hit now, going closer into the Richmond area. This is an area from Richmond, King William, Powhatan, Prince George, Dinwiddie, and Blackstone. I've got some folks that watch me out there. You need to be careful. This is not a tornadic storm, but a storm that has a history, as you see by the icons, has a history of producing all of that damage. I've got one report I'm going to use from Mark Overbeck's Twitter page. I hope he doesn't mind me popping it up with credits in him, but I retweeted it there on my Twitter. And this also goes to, I'm going to do a little plug here and show you that if you go to Twitter, if you go to Jamie Singleton on Twitter and you give me a follow, you will be alerted to every single alert as they come in. But this is, I think, near, sorry, I clicked the wrong one there. Wow, this shows you how much data has been coming in. You can see tons of it here. That's from Mark Overbeck. And he was chasing in the area, saw these clouds, Mamatus and Fincastle. If you follow Mark, you will get a wealth of information. Mark Overbeck on Twitter. Also, Peter Forrester is a good one to follow as well. I've also had I always get good lightning pictures from Chris Manley on Twitter. So if you want to be one of my Twitter followers and give me some info, we'd love to hear from you and get that in there. But what I wanted to show you is that we are certainly seeing a lot of damage reports coming in. If you want to read them as they come in, that includes all of the alerts and everything else, give me a follow. The live broadcast that we're doing right now is on my Twitter page. But you can see just in the past 33 seconds, we've got another update on this severe thunderstorm warning from Halifax. We've got the same one coming in there. You have it visually here. This is an automated thing that will come out. It'll show you how many people are in the polygon. So they're continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds for Caswell County, North Carolina, and Halifax County, Virginia. It also shows you a timestamp there at the top of the screen, and population, I believe, is in there somewhere. Maybe not in this case, but it will auto-generate. And I've got about 3 or 4 sources that I actually pay for that will put these alerts out in basically three different ways. So we're triple verified there on reporting and getting that information out. Chris Manley said, wait till you see my anemometer. So yeah, let's check it out, Chris. Definitely, I want to see what you caught there wind-wise. We do have wind shear still in the area, more wind shear up to the north, but the storms developed farther back to the south, and we still have a lot of cooling that's taking place where the storms have already passed through. So where you see this blue here, that's what we call CIN. CIN, and that's convective inhibition. In other words, the air has cooled near the surface in this area. So this area has been kind of in the clear right now for the storms. Roanoke would be about right here. This is the Virginia area there. That's a very crude drawing of Virginia. Let's just get rid of that. But just to show you that we still have sufficient amount of storm fuel off to the east in the Richmond area. In fact, and in Halifax County, you still have capes up around 3,000 to 4,000, and those are the capes that got us the damage that have produced the damaging wind and power pole damage. By the way, over the scanners, I've had an incredible amount of power poles reported snapped out of this. That tells us that this is indeed has been a very strong storm system, and these are the mean winds at about 10,000 feet, pulling it off into the Carolinas as well. And just checking out a couple of things here, wanting to check out our tornado threat. I don't know if that's completely accurate in West Virginia, but sometimes you can use this for different things. Let me look at our derecho composite. This is a way of seeing, if the cluster of storms will survive. And you see it over time, over the past 4 hours, how it advanced through the area. So it did a pretty good job on forecasting that complex that moved through. Downdraft Cape, this is off the charts still, east of, I'd say, Highway or Route 29. So from Lynchburg to Appomattox East, we still have a very high probability of seeing those strong straight line winds here basically slam down to the ground and accelerate as they do so. They'll slam down to the ground and they'll actually speed up, and that's where you get those 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. So there's another look. This is a high-res visible shot showing again the storms that are moving closer now into the Carolinas. Looking at also the Forsyth County area, several large trees uprooted in one direction near Germantown. That's the Maple Chase Country Club neighborhood. Report from WXII, Channel 12. Have a crew there. That's out of Winston-Salem. That's coming in on the Blacksburg chat, but they're going to relay that down to Greenville, Spartanburg as well. There are lots of other reports that I'm not even able to read. I'm able to read, I'm just not keeping up with them because it's almost too much here out of surrounding areas. Thunderstorm damage, one tree down on the road in Pennsylvania County, Virginia, where we had storms just move through. So my advice to you would be this, and as I show you Virginia 511, you can see all of the different Waze incidents. These are live incidents that people are reporting from their phone apps of trees blocking roadways. You can click on them and it'll show you over here, road closed to event, which is likely tree damage. That's likely something going on there when you look at the Waze reports. You can also go to Virginia 511 and look at traffic speeds. We saw earlier that Lexington was hard hit. You can tell that there's congestion in the area. You can see where the traffic there is at a standstill up I-81 as it meets 64. This was an area that's been hit very hard by those storms. More power lines down in Franklin County coming in right now. So again, it takes time to get all of these damage reports in. And that's why I caution you on heading out to do any sightseeing, because it takes time for the emergency crews to even find out. They're still just responding to a lot of this stuff. And it may take them some time before they're able to get all the roads cleared up. And if you look at these VDOT cameras, they're pointing at the main arteries mainly. We use this a lot in the wintertime, but sometimes you can catch some damage on this. But we're just heading down I-81 and everything is A-OK, except traffic-wise once you get to the Lexington area. The camera's not even working, so that's not good. They probably lost power in that area. This is I-64 where the sun has come back out. But it's going to be hard to catch a tree down in this area, but you can see all these dots that are popping up. This is an indicator of how much wind damage we have seen. People that are indicating on their Waze app that there are alerts out there and where we've got information going on in terms of, let's see, let me go. I'm going to get rid of those so you can see the other incidents as they come in. And I don't see any of the weather incidents coming in. That's kind of interesting. But I can assure you that they're out there. It's just that we can't get.
Here from Crooked Oak Road. Also, if you can see if we have any apparatus to block the other side of this, we'll keep people off of it.
10-4 will time for additional apparatus to assist keeping people off. We are notifying AEP.
AEP's being notified about live lines down on the road and in and around the Franklin County area, and I imagine for a good part of the area. So as these numbers continue to come in, you can see how we have a total now of 131,916, so nearly 132,000 people without power within the AEP area. So there you go. There's your power outages as you see them, 131,000 or 132,000. You can see the areas that are just in the dark. So a lot of folks may be watching over the cell phone, and this may be their only source of information. But certainly a lot of damage out there caused by this just hellacious storm system as it moved through the area. Now the forecast now as we go through the rest of, let's give you some good news here, rest of the evening.
735-197.
I'm going to show you dry air moving in. So this is the big hot humid dome. You can see all that purple over us right now. That's basically where we've had all the heat and energy. As we go through time, while we go through overnight tonight, look at the drier air move in, and especially for Saturday night and the Sunday. We still get the bubbly clouds from time to time, but we do have some drier air moving in. If we go above that, I like to look at 700 millibars for clouds too. These are mid-layer clouds that'll be coming in. And let's listen to them on this report one more time here.
Requesting additional apparatus for traffic control, 1205 Crooked Oak Road, have a power line across the tree. Requesting traffic control.
Crooked Oak Road in Franklin County is blocked. They're doing traffic control as a result of that. So again, stay indoors, and now that the storms have passed, most of us, we can look forward to this drier air. I know it looks intimidating in red, but that's some dry air there that'll be pushing out all of this moisture that we have had. Let's go back to the radar one more time and see what's going on out there. We've got still 93 reported in Chase City. This area now is under a severe thunderstorm warning from Victoria, riding on down through Cambridge, Lunenburg, Chase City, Boynton, Clarksville, South Hill now under the gun. It's not as it's more of a broken line. It's not a solid line. The solid line is moving into the Raleigh-Durham area right now, and this one has wind speeds with it up to 70 miles per hour as well. So this is in Raleigh-Durham, Moore County, Orange County, Harnett County, Granville, eastern Montgomery County, and central North Carolina, Lee, Wake, Chatham County, basically the whole RDU area until 6:45. This outflow, I'm glad they put that in there. The outflow from severe thunderstorms, not the actual storms, it's an outflow driven event. The wind itself has blown out from the storms. So it may not rain. It may just be a sudden gust of wind that you see in the Raleigh-Durham in that surrounding area. Was located from a line from 8 miles north of Butner to near Carborough to near Siler City, 10 miles northeast of Baden Lake, moving southeast at 45 miles per hour. The course of the thunderstorms remains slightly off to the west. That's where the heavy rain and the possible hail is. But the 70 mile per hour winds are being reported by emergency management. And considerable tree damage likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings, moving closer to Raleigh, Durham, Cary, Chapel Hill, Southern Pines, Pittsboro, that area, including Troy. So this area right in through here under a high-end severe thunderstorm warning. We'll put the velocity up. And again, this still includes South Boston and to a good part of Mecklenburg County as well and surrounding areas. And we're going to do Dot a favor and get her little cat window opened up here. 1 second. She likes to be on the air all of a sudden. So we can investigate some of this wind. And you can see it there at the center of your screen. I'm going to zoom you way in and show you. This is near Hillsboro, just north of Chapel Hill. You've got 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, and this is actually reliable data because it's very close to the radar. And in Durham, we've got 60 mile per hour winds approaching the Durham area as well with this line. Now, we would have probably have seen this on our radar had it been up, but we were unable to show that to you, so we did the best we could. But as the line continues moving closer into Raleigh and Cary, I'll alert my friends and my followers down in that area. And if you've got family and friends into Raleigh-Durham, you can tell them to expect to lose power and expect to see quite a bit of wind damage as these storms continue to move in to that area very, very potent line of storms moving through the area today. And behind the storms, we've got, well, some cooler air. We'll show you this here. You can see that temperatures are only in the 60s now behind the storms, but we still do have South Hill again within the warning here. Technically, we've got that bubbling cell near Roxborough there. We've got that severe thunderstorm warning for Pittsylvania County for just one more minute, but from Roxborough there's a towering cumulus cloud there. That'll be producing some more than less 70 mile per hour considerable wind damage. That will be tracked now. This may be considered a derecho because if we go back and track it, we've got damage reports that go all the way back across Kentucky and Tennessee, and even the parts of the Midwest. We'll pop on the local storm reports here, and they're only popping up in Virginia because they had to cut off at some point, but over the past 6 to 8 hours or so, if you look at it on a 24-hour standpoint, you're definitely talking about lots of wind damage reported across the area. So where it's still hot, 97 in Virginia Beach, whoa. I know it feels good to be in the water, but in the next few hours, if this line survives, it's going to be in business. And as the lightning glows on your screen, there's a live look at what's happening there. Also want to kind of show you while we're at it, for those of you that are remaining on, your true weather buffs, and I appreciate that. Look at the dew points. We've had dew points recently up into the 70s, but lower dew points recently with the breaking down of this pattern. So our front's up here, and let me see if I can't get that refreshed for you. Sometimes my place files get held up. And we'll see it refresh. And it comes back on. So the front's still in West Virginia, but behind this front, we're looking at dew points only in the 40s and 50s. So this is some comfy air, folks. This is going to feel great once it gets down here, and boy, have we deserved it. And all the way back into West Virginia, still dew points near 70. So a brief lull here. 59 dew point is very comfortable for Roanoke. That's a direct measure of how much moisture is in the air. But we mix that down via the storms. The real comfort's going to come behind the actual front itself. But we still do have, if you're in West Virginia, regionally speaking, we've got some flash flood warnings in effect that continue now for another several hours through Charleston and the Summersville. You need to be advised that those areas north of Oak Hill, you see all that topography there. There's lots of flooding going on from runoff from these thunderstorms as they continue to move in. So for most of the area, the threat is over, with the exception of the fact that we still have a lot of damage out there that's causing a lot of, I imagine, a lot of traffic issues, a lot of other issues. If folks are trying to get out or trying to get home from work, I know that's tough. I know that's 6:16. I know traffic's probably still pretty busy in the Raleigh-Durham area, and it's a dangerous situation to be in your car and you've got this moving through. But at least we were able to give you some warning here. But each of these icons also a bit of severe weather, a lot of severe weather, showing us where we've got the reports coming in. A couple of other reports just real quickly before I sign off here. Lynchburg, we've got thunderstorm wind damage, multiple trees down now in the city of Lynchburg. We've also had a new report that just came in from Collinsville, thunderstorm damage, tree in the middle of the road at Island Court and Clubhouse Road. So these storms mean business and are going to continue moving on down into North Carolina. All right, so I might do that more on my YouTube channel and my TikTok. We might do some more weather as we progress into the rest of the evening, but that'll sign me off for right now. Just be very careful out there, folks, and thank you so much for following me here and letting people know in the path of these storms that now include Richmond and Emporia and into Roanoke Rapids and down into Raleigh-Durham, what's been going on, because this was certainly it was a well-forecast event, actually, 24 hours in advance, but lots of power outages and, again, a lot of cleanup yet to be done. Appreciate you tuning in. Stay safe, everybody.